Hi everybody and welcome back to the next part of the tutorial. Okay, so far our breakout game works. Well, it should do anyway, but it's not exactly fun, is it? We need to add some gameplay elements into it so that your player has a reason to actually want to continue with it. The two most obvious things we're going to start with are a score and some lives. So the first thing we need to do is to create a new sprite. This is going to be the sprite for our score box. So I'm going to call it SPR underscore score box. I'll go to load my sprite and find the correct one. So now that we've got a memorable name for it, we want to set the X origin to 0 and the Y origin to the center of a sprite. So I'm going to just press center, but then 0 on the X. We now need to add this sprite into a new object. So I'm just going to go OK and go to my create object and call it obj underscore control. I'll just maximize that to make it easier to see, and I'm going to go to a create event. Next I need to go to my control tab and add some code, and due to feedback I've had, the code I want to add is draw, D-R-A-W, underscore set, S-E-T, underscore H-align, H-A-L-I-G-N, bracket, F-A underscore left, bracket, semicolon, enter. Then I'm going to type in draw underscore set underscore color, and we need to remember to spell color the American way, C-O-L-O-R, bracket C underscore white, bracket, semicolon, enter. I'm going to press enter again and then type score space equals space 0 semicolon, enter, lives space equals space 3 semicolon. Okay, and then I can press the tick. This code actually sets up the text alignment and the draw color and resets the global variables score and lives. So I'll tick that. So now that we have actually created this thing on or in the game room, we need to add a draw event. And draw. And in this event we need to add the following code. Draw underscore self, bracket, bracket, semicolon, enter, draw underscore text, bracket, X, comma, space, 2, comma, space, score, bracket, semicolon, enter, draw underscore text, bracket, X, comma, X, comma, space, 1, 5, comma, lives, bracket, semicolon. This code draws the instance of the sprite using the draw self and then draws the score and the lives. We can tick that and we can close that object. Now we need to go back and open up the object ball, and we're going to change the step event and make it now reduce the lives when the ball goes out of the screen and only restart the game when the last life has been lost. So in the step event, double click on execute code and we will change it as follows. So it should read so far, if go equals false, let's call those curly brackets, x space equals object obj underscore bat dot x semicolon enter end curly bracket else begin curly enter begin curly bracket enter if y is greater than room underscore height enter tab curly bracket, and that's where we're going to change it. So I'm just going to delete those last three and type in lives space minus equal to space 1 semicolon enter if space lives space less than space 1 enter tab begin curly bracket enter room underscore restart begin bracket end bracket semicolon enter end curly bracket enter backspace else enter tab begin curly bracket enter instance underscore, and if we just scroll down to it we can click on create bracket obj underscore bat dot x comma space obj underscore bat dot y space minus 28 comma space obj underscore ball end bracket semicolon enter instance underscore destroy start bracket end bracket semicolon enter end curly bracket enter backspace end curly bracket enter backspace end curly bracket, and it should look like the following. Okay, we can give that the big tick. We also need to change the collision event of the ball object too, so that when it destroys a brick we get points. To do this, open up the event, the collision event with the object brick and add in the following line of code. So at the end of line 2 I'll press enter and type score space plus equals space 10 semicolon. I'll close that object and give it the big OK, and before I go any further I'm going to save the game. Okay, the next part of it, we're going to improve the visuals. Before testing again, we need to make sure the game is visually more appealing, and for that we're going to add a background and some tiles around the edges to create a nice wall. We'll also make the brick objects sort by colour rather than have them all random as they are currently. So what we're going to do is first of all create a new background resource, and I'm going to call it BCK underscore stars. Load background, hold on a second, I'll find that. Okay guys, I've located it, sorry about that. Just double click on the stars and give it the OK. Okay everybody, I was going to add tiles around my game room, but I'm having issues with them tonight, so I'm just not going to bother. So I'm going to go to backgrounds and get rid of draw background colour. Scroll down and choose the stars background. Also, what I want to do is go to objects and add in my object control, and I'm just going to place it sort of in the middle of the room there, and I think it'll take up about that space. So I'll give that the tick. One last thing for us to do before we play it is to change the create event of the brick object so that it no longer chooses colour randomly, but rather has a colour based on its Y position within the room. Remember, the Y is the up and down position. Open the object and change the code as follows. I'm going to delete that second line of code and type in if Y space is less than or equal to space 32 space image underscore index space equals space 0 semicolon enter else enter. Actually, what I'm going to do is highlight those two lines of code and copy them and then paste them several times because we need to repeat that. And there's just two parts we need to change. That part needs to change to 64 and the image number is going to be 1. Sorry, have I put a colon there instead of a semicolon? I think I have, my mistake. So I'll just update that as well. That will be image 2 and the number is 96. This next one is 128. Number 3 semicolon and 160 4 semicolon 192 5 semicolon, and I think I may have had 6 images, I'm not 100% sure, and that number is 224. And I'll just get rid of that last else and we'll give it the big green tick. We'll click OK and make sure all our windows are closed, save the game and cross our fingers. Let's hope it works. Yes, awesome, it's looking great. Colours on the bricks look fantastic. Ball's looking good. Score is there. It looks a little bit out of place. But the score is going up by 10 for every brick I hit. And the lives do decrease. Let's just see what happens when I lose all of my lives. Yes, and it restarts. Brilliant. So guys, let's see if you can figure out the placement of this and what I've done wrong with that particular object. Good luck with yours. I'll see you at the next tutorial where I hope to resolve the problem as well.